welcome back, everybody, to another episode. You know what? It's kind of hard to say. We got the eggnog with some alcohol and everything else, and peppermint in our mouth and candy anyway. And I just realized as I'm about to say what I usually always say is uh, everything horror podcast. But in this case, as you guys probably have known, we kind of went dark and everything else. So we've been trying to debate, or at least I have. We'll see real quick what everybody else has to say. But first, let me just get through this, and I will say what I was gonna say. But anyway, I'm Podolsky,
and I'm Tessa Baker,
and with us we got none other than.
Drum roll, please. Hey, Ken Artuz from DecayMag, now defunct DecayMag. It's sad hearing that, but every time I say that, I say to myself, I should bring it back, and I don't do it. But hopefully, one day.
It would be nice, Ken. I mean, I do miss our roundtable talk and stuff because you know what? While I've been at work and having a stressful week this week, and Tessa can tell you that, and everything else. But anyway, I actually been going back and listening to old episodes that I appeared on, and I've been listening to some of the ones I did with you, Ken, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I sound like a real idiot on this one. Or like, wow, why did I sound like this? Or why didn't I say that? And it was actually kind of cool to go back and re-listen to all the good times. And in this case, I feel like, hopefully, this is almost like the old times again, but without a few people with the discussion like we used to do with two movies. But hey, other than that, awesome. So before we dive into what we have in store tonight, let me just quickly get out of the way here. So if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, there's a poll underneath, or wherever this poll is on Spotify, but for this episode. But anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, the listeners, do we keep the name Everything Horror Podcast, or should we change it for something different, as everybody would call a reboot?
Or a revamp.
But in this case, I think reboot would be more accurate considering we talk like horror stuff. But in this case, maybe we could switch it up and not just talk like horror all the time. But then again, you guys let us know, do we keep the name or do we change it? Vote yes or no, and we'll figure out what to do from there. All right.
Oh, you got my vote. Keep the name. Keep it. It's a trademark. Yeah. It's who you guys are. It sounds good. Has a nice ring to it.
I appreciate it, Ken.
We both do.
Yeah, let's just see what the listeners say. It's a good way to interact with the listeners, I feel like. Just to even see if anybody's even listening to this, you know?
Of course.
Not just me. Wait a minute. Am I only the one?
No, I listen to it too.
Okay, good. Well, maybe you're just saying that. But anyway.
No.
No, I know people are
She's showing support.
Yeah, I'm showing support here, damn it.
I know. I mean, obviously, I know there's people that listen to us because since we switched over to Anchor, we ended up hitting the 50 listener mark. So that kind of made it so that we can now do like sponsor ads. So maybe this might have a little sponsor with my amazing retarded voice on it, but we'll just go with the flow on that later on. Anyway, because this is a very different thing, I want to try something else because normally back in the day it was me coming on saying, hey, I'm your host with the co-host and this co-host. In this case, I want to try something different. Everybody here is the host tonight and forever. There's not even going to be a host. If anybody wants to jump in and be like, no, we need to do this. No, we need to do that. No, I got something I want to say. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's going to have their own voice.
Everybody gets a chance at the mic.
Everybody's going to have a chance at the mic. So, because Ken had the first movie picked for tonight's topic, we figured we would dive bomb into this one because what a very interesting film. But before I blab on anymore, Ken, take the floor with Brain Freeze.
Brain Freeze. Okay, so the film Brain Freeze, it caught my attention. Not some. At first, I did not know it was a zombie film. Well, zombie infected, whatever the terminology is right now. I'm classifying it as infected because of the whole plot behind it. It is a very clever film. I don't usually go for the comedy element with zombie films. I like the drama associated with the uh, endemic of the world. But there are few films, few far between, that have successfully featured comedic elements with this theme. And I would say this is one of them. And I particularly enjoy the social commentary, which is environmental disaster. We all know that we all need to do our part and clean the environment and et cetera, et cetera. And this has a good element to that entwined into the plot. Comedy wise, I found it's not a dumb comedy, and when I use the word dumb, like these little jokes here and there to make the audience laugh, or some weird acting, just random stuff. No, the comedy was subtle. The comedy also was sarcastic, which is my preferred flavor of comedy. And the special effects, very good, very, very good, especially for a foreign film. I particularly emphasize that because I have yet to see a B-rated or a major film from Hollywood that can execute good comedy, good action, good special effects into a zombie film. Have yet to see that. I don't think one has been released in quite a while.
I agree. So I'll say it again. At first, I would like Brain Freeze, and I was like, "Oh, I think I know what Ken's talking about." And then I would like starting to look it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, I swear I know what Ken's talking about, and I'm looking up Brain Freeze, and to me at the time, it was like, no, this isn't right. And and then anyway, I get more going on of like trying to figure out what title I'm trying to actually think of, and it was Brain Damage. I was thinking of Brain Damage and not Brain Freeze, and I'm like, oh my god, now I feel stupid. So anyway, at first I was kind of like, oh, I already know this film. No, I don't. I'm gonna say this again. No, I did not know this film of Brain Freeze, and so I do agree with Ken. I I thought it was a pretty decent French Canadian film, and I may not have probably caught on to the comedy aspect a little bit, but I definitely caught on to the special effects and practical a little bit from what you could sort of see with the practical wise. Otherwise, the special effects were definitely the top priority. And one thing that I will say, and I kind of blame Ken for this after a roundtable that we did with him for DecayMag one time, but we were talking about symbolism.
Right,
I could not help but see the color green everywhere.
right, right. I think the way Brain Freeze uses that color, particularly with the environmental subtext,
Oh, there's the in
also,
nature.
right. So in a way, it could be interpreted as nature coming, being sentient and punishing us for contaminating the soil, as the subject matter is to this film, or is just attacking us because we didn't uh, take care of planet Earth. It could be interpreted that way. Also, green is just gooey, like Slimer. So as soon as we see green, we said, that's just gross. So it could be interpreted different ways. But yeah, I did pick up on that too with the green, right?
And I see Tessa trying to look for something, so I know she's trying to get ready with ammunition of this green aspect that we're talking about. So real quick is like I also started looking for any other type of symbolism, like the checkerboard floor and stuff like that, and I didn't see anything like that. So Ken, I was wondering, did you see any other sort of symbolism besides the color green?
No. As a matter of fact, I did not pick up on anything else that that really caught my attention. What really stuck out for me was and it's not cliche. Yes, it's been used many times over, but during our weird times that we're living in, it's perfectly understandable to put the pharmaceutical big corporate giant behind this pandemic epidemic that they are featuring in Brain Freeze. So we've seen it many times before. Resident Evil, we've seen it in countless other zombie and infection films. But it does play an important role.
Right. And I liked how the kid was sort of talking to Dan, the other character that he ends up meeting with his little baby sister.
Oh, Andre.
Yeah, Andre, about
and Annie.
How I forget exactly how he worded it, but he ends up bringing up the word, like in the world nowadays, is vaccine. He even brings that up.
Right.
Like the cure, which I don't know how much we're gonna talk about this movie per se, but for the moment being is I kind of want to know more about the cure that we sort of saw in Brain Freeze, without saying too much, obviously.
Right. And the way that was set up is pretty interesting because was that supposed vaccine also meant to prolong this thing? Because the villain, when he was trying to escape and he got injected, it's like, wait a second, kind of caught me off guard. Like, wait, is the cure actually the cure, or is the cure not the cure?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of weird in that instance. I gotta rewatch it, but the time I've watched I watched it twice. That's always the part that gets me.
What? I'm sorry.
That's always the part that gets me. That particular scene. So it's unclear if the vaccine is the vaccine or the vaccine to keep it going.
Right. Yeah. I've only seen it once, but I've seen the English dub. But I was like, at that part, we're talking the same exact part of the whatever this ball thing is that the
right. Yeah. What the hell is that? They need some more clarification on that, but
and whatever that stuff is, like I almost felt like it was supposed to be some sort of smoke bomb, but then like as we sort of seen something else involving this ball, I almost feel like it almost like blocked the sense of smell or something at first. And I'm only saying it like that because the specific character gets infected, obviously, and then as soon as this ball breaks the first time around, or second time, maybe it's the second time, but anyway, the point of this is one of the characters absorbs it up the nose, and so does the other one. But then they just basically stop. They stop like trying to bite each other, or even something to that effect.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of weird in that regard. But aside from that, say the film is pretty straightforward. You're not going to see anything you haven't seen before, and the comedy does work here in this instance. There's so many funny moments, especially with the kid's mom when she gets infected. And the irony here is that she was so health conscious and doing things by the book, having her smoothies, and she gets infected. Or it's just weird, that irony there. But on the topic of the environmental thing, the subtext, I think it's pretty. That's also cliche, but it's pretty clever because, for one, we do gotta focus on our environment in real life, because we don't know if something like this, well, not as drastic as this, but we don't know if our rivers, so much poison going inside our rivers, if it could affect humans or animals or the land that's poisoned. It could infect them. Well, not that it could, it will. But what are the ramifications? That's the correct word. What are the ramifications behind something like that?
Yeah, I definitely did find it ironic that she was trying to eliminate toxins from her body, and then she ended up getting infected and having toxins in her body on a massive level. So she was like trying to work to get all those toxins out of her body just to turn around and get infected.
Well, I think the cliche to that also is we're talking about the mom who is also trying to tell her son, don't use the sink water.
Use the bottled water for the baby.
Water for the baby. And then it's like, so
why aren't you using
why aren't you doing
it?
Because shouldn't you be doing the same thing if you're trying to get all the toxins out?
Yeah, we knew something was up as soon as she went and put water in that blender with that kale and started that thing up. I looked at Paul and I'm like, they get infected by the water. That's something in the water. You watch.
Which I will go back to like what Ken was saying about nature. You know, nature is our biggest enemy, right? Like we don't know when it's going to turn on us.
Mother Nature is very unpredictable.
Mysterious, yeah. And in this case, I mean, I do agree with like what Ken was trying to say too, and I will add that. Well, he's right, because when it comes to water, look at all the waste and stuff that we just dump in our waters, and then
all the litter, all the trash,
everything.
Yeah,
the sewage even. Yeah. So
right, and when I saw that in this movie that they were using the water, the land as the backdrop for this infection, it reminded me of Attack. I don't know if you've seen this movie, Attack of the Lederhosen Zombies.
I can't say that I have watched that, and we'll have to look into that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we're gonna have to look it up now. Thanks, Ken. We're gonna add that to our list.
Oh yeah, it's the same concept. The water was the source of the infection, and as soon as brain freeze, I would definitely made the connection with that one. And there's also a comedy too. Once again, very few and far between comedy zombie films. But this one is let me see, double check. I think this one is German. Yeah, yes, German. Okay.
German, huh? Interesting. That basically says a lot, though. So we got like a Canadian film that did that with water, or French Canadian, my bad. And then we're hearing one about a Germany one. So I can only imagine the Germany even more after hearing this title.
Hosen zombies. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, but speaking of which, did we even say like the synopsis of Brain Freeze?
Oh, I'll bring it right up. I have it right here in IMDb. The synopsis: a fertilizer used in a rich gated community becomes the source of a genetic mutation that transforms its residents into zombies. Can a teenager and his baby sister break free from the quarantine island before turning into grass? Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting. And how they even took it and even made it into like how do I word this? You know, this is gonna be a weird reference, but bear with me. You know those air freshener things that you sometimes see at the dollar store that are like the beads?
Yeah.
Like that's what the green things kind of reminded me of. The green, like the green bead infected things. That's kind of what it reminded me of, because I'm kind of like looking at it and I'm like, you know, those things kind of look like the freaking air freshener beads and those weird air fresheners, but they're green. It's weird how you like take things and you kind of put it together like that. Is weird. I said it was weird referencing, but you know, it makes good reference.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. That was probably source material. You never know.
Yeah, source material. Yeah, exactly. And green, and going back to the whole like color symbolism for green. Green stands for a lot of things. It stands for greed. It stands for jealousy. It stands for a lot of different things.
But yeah,
materialism.
Perfect. Wasn't greed the source for this whole problem? Because the golf course were for the quote unquote the rich people.
Yes, exactly.
We got. Oh, okay. We connected some dots here. Let me get my aluminum foil hat. Where is it?
Yeah, Paul told you I was coming back with some ammo. I kind of did that the other night when we were watching another film that had what was it?
Purple.
Oh, purple. It was a music video.
Wasn't a film. Yeah,
it was a music video that had purple color symbolism in it. So I looked it up and I was reading off the symbolism for purple. And he's like, oh, yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. So it's really interesting how people in movies and in music use color symbolism. It's actually really interesting.
Very. It's a huge part of the to attract the viewer and to inject some kind. Yeah, of course. But that was a good one. That the greed part that plays a big role in this film. Definitely.
Yep, greed, materialism, jealousy, envy.
Oh yeah. So think we got the whole greed and rich and out of the way. So can we just say that bitch got it coming with her own dog?
That was hilarious. I thought that was like one of the funniest things in the entire film was watching that freaking lady's dog.
Yes.
Rip her to shreds. I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious. The dog is one of them.
And then the dog, bite the ankle of that one other dude, and he gets infected. Marcel, yeah. He gets infected just from getting bit on the ankle by an ankle biter, and then later on the other guy basically kicked the dog like a football.
Yeah, so we did notice. I definitely did notice like the comedic elements of it, especially with those three.
Yeah,
because the ankle biter, the rich bitch getting her throat ripped out by her own dog, and then the other guy just like football kicking or soccer ball kicking the dog like across the room.
Yeah, that was
what is man, the name escapes me right now. Bud? Is it Bud from Day of the Dead? Yeah, right. That's
yeah.
Wouldn't this the female the guy's daughter? Wouldn't she be the female version of Bud? Because she's throughout the whole movie just a useless character, and Bud was also a useless character in the film as well. Just providing, why do they have her there for? It's just for comedy elements.
I think it's just like a filler and for like comedic effect and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, before, like, when it got to the part where Andre and Annie met up with Dan at the grocery store or whatever, before Dan's daughter was revealed, Patricia.
Right.
I thought that the whole, like, part where Andre was like, so what's the plan? So I thought that he was going to go to get her, to rescue her. And then it goes to show us that she's not needing to be rescued anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So we're just like, oh, well, that answers my question.
It was disheartening because you get attached to the character in the beginning. You thought she's going to be a survivor.
Yeah.
But she winds up being comedy.
Filler.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like space filler. It's like, okay, we thought she was going to be one of the ones that was going to be a survivor with her dad.
Right.
And
which would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. I think that definitely would have, like, upped the appeal for the film more. I mean, it was good as it was, but I think it would have been made better if she was a survivor.
Right. Right. Okay, here's the $1 million question. Since we're getting a lot of remakes now, we have Train to Busan getting a remake. How can this be made here in the U.S.? Well, what would we want? We would want to keep it comedy as the way it is, or make it darker and grittier?
I honestly think that they should just try to stick to a creative story and not worry about the elements of comedy too much. I would rather focus on the story.
I think that it would be good for like a good story, but have like some comedic elements in there, placed creatively placed. Yeah. If that makes sense, Ken. Like strategically placed, like in a good spot. So like the movie doesn't like.
Yeah, I got an example. This is just because this is gonna be a filler. So do you remember that? Oh, Ken's gonna get a kick out of this one, and so will Tessa. So the filler is this, Ken. You remember that time when we had the round table and we were discussing trailers, and we had to figure out why the hell you put in Halo and Cyberpunk?
Oh boy!
It was because of a filler, apparently, from what that episode was trying to agree on, was a filler. It was like, what the hell? Nobody liked this? Okay, why did I put this in here again?
It's a filler.
It's a filler. But in this case, I mean, it would be appropriate, like Tessa was saying, if they were to use comedic elements to at least put them in a creative spot so that it would work.
Yeah, it would work and it wouldn't take away from the story, but it would also keep it so that the story doesn't fall flat or lose its edge or something. How am I saying this right, guys?
Yeah.
I think I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You got this.
Our widow one is awake. To our listeners, our widow one is awake.
Yes. So if she starts screaming and hollering, we'll figure it out. But she's trying to get comfy.
But you did say everybody gets a chance at the mic. Everybody's a host in this episode.
Yep, everybody gets a chance at the mic, even our baby.
There you go.
So Amara, did you watch Brain Free? Didn't you? Did you like it?
She's like, I was more engrossed in my show. Don't you, Baba?
I don't know. She was watching it a little bit.
Hi, baby.
You were watching the baby scene, weren't you?
Yeah, she liked Annie. Yeah,
Speaking of which,
paying attention
what
to
did
Annie.
everybody think about Andre there? The little kid that was always on his phone and like what a
researching, Googling and shit. Not paying attention to his little baby sister half the time until it's like almost a half a second too late and he jumps up and oh gosh, you almost broke the TV. I'm like dude, forget the TV.
But Yeah, that he pretty much embodies what normal teenagers do, is being on the phones all the time. I think that was pretty
Exactly.
clever. It was a comedic approach of teens. It
I
makes sense.
Yeah, and I like the fact that when he met up with Dan, with the little sister, that sort of worked as well. With the whole you got the guy that doesn't believe in the modern technology, so he was trying to start the fire up, like the caveman way, basically, and stuff like that. He was always trying to look for the old ways of doing it, not the modern way. You can't rely on technology. But then when he forgot his flashlight, the boy Andre, he had the phone that basically had a flashlight on it. And then at that one point, Dan's like, "So, how do you work the flashlight on this phone?"
How do you work this?
So in a way, it worked out in the end on that aspect. Like, it's good to know a little bit of both.
Right. But in case of emergency, I highly doubt that we're going to be using any type of phones. And that's one thing I find it strange in the film, that he kept on using the phone. Wouldn't the island be cut off from communications or anything?
We'd be thinking more like Dan about survival. We need to start thinking outside the box and think about what would happen if we had no internet, no electricity, no this, no that. Like, what are we gonna do for food? How are we gonna have fire? Like, to make food, heat things up, keep warm, stuff like that. We'd have to start thinking like Dan.
Oh yeah, because technology is not always going to be there, especially when the power goes out. And like we saw with Andre, he had 3% left on his phone before it died completely because they lost power. So it's not like he could just plug it right back in to charge.
Right. Which another surprising part. Usually in horror films, the phones are obsolete. When the kids go to the log cabin in the woods, hey, I have no reception. We always seen that.
That's always one of the famous lines that we hear too. Is, "Oh, there's no exception out here." It's like, well, duh. I mean,
can't have a horror movie without that trope right there.
I mean, if you really want reception out there so badly, then spend whatever amount of money it would take to get a landline out there.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, my opinion, I think if Hollywood ever chooses to make a remake, I think this could be a good source material right here for a remake. And I'm trying to think. When was the last time we've seen a zombie comedy here in the United States? I don't think so. Everything is overseas, so we need one. There you go. We could have Brain Freeze as the first. I clearly don't remember one.
Actually, was Shaun of the Dead? That was what, UK, right?
British.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a freaking kick-ass movie too. But yeah, I was just trying to think because I can't even think of a comedy zombie from the US. So that was
Zombieland.
Yeah,
Zombieland.
There we go.
Well,
how can we forget Zombieland?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's been a while since the sequel even came out, so it's like, that name Zombieland kind of died off for a while.
Right.
Sorry,
and that's what we may need for this film, if the director so chooses. A sequel. What happens, because we know there is a sequel, because even though that ending, that ending gave away a lot of clues that, hey, this story is going to continue.
Yeah. Or maybe we could try to do like Brain Freeze 2 or something. Like, did it come and affect our water? Especially the ending, Ken. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely.
Can we
It was a
also?
very-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It was an entertaining film. It has a lot of pluses, very little minuses. Very, and to think, I did not even think this was a zombie film.
I didn't fully think it was either. I thought it was just like some sort of weird virus that was just in the water. I on it. Well, in all fairness, I thought it was Mother Nature in that aspect, and the whole grass thing. So yeah, that's the way I was looking at it. Well, actually, you know what? It would nature bees. Nature bees.
Nature bees.
Yeah, like instead of zombies, there was nature bees.
Gotcha. I got it.
Can we take a moment to talk about the protocol and how they did that horrible thing to Annie?
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
That made me so mad. I'm like, really? I'm like, she's not gonna do what I think she's gonna do. Oh yeah, she is.
This is food.
Eat this candy. It's good. And then afterwards, she's like, I hate children. I hate babies. It's like, wow.
No, she doesn't. We don't hate you. We don't hate you. No.
We don't hate you, baby.
No.
We're talking about the protocol. I'm actually happy that the protocol got what they deserved. That's what they're called.
Yeah. I know what they're called, but yeah. Got what they deserved. Yeah. Talk about a showdown.
Right? Isn't that something when actors play the villain so well that you want to see their ultimate demise? It's like, wow, that was a very good actor. I really hated his or her guts. That's good acting right there.
It was. Even though she had very minimum lines, but the way they came out and did the whole protocol thing of the secret agency to do the cleanup, I thought it was just pretty spot on, in my opinion. What do you think, Amara?
Some cleanup crew.
I mean, they could have yawned and still shot. You know,
right? But the whole secret agent type of thing, they didn't really. They could have done it differently. I don't know. It kind of worked. I'm not gonna nitpick. It worked. It worked for what it is.
Oh yeah. I completely agree with that. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I'd wanted to say about this film per se, but I don't really know how much we can really say without saying oh, it's basically what we've already seen though. But it's just different in the aspect of what is in the water with the whole grass mutation thing. So yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna see nothing new here at all, but it's I agree with you. It's a new take on it. It's
it really
refreshing. Yeah.
I thought it was
refreshing.
Yeah, it was different in a good way, and I mean, it was kind of cool to see the nature bees, for the zombie type take. So it was kind of cool that nature came into play in this one. But then again, didn't we sort of see something like that with the ruins? I think it's called.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of films that with nature taking over.
Hey, nature is, like I said, the worst enemy to turn against us.
Like, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I have it wish listed on Hulu. But there's this film that's another example of nature coming to reclaim. And it's about like this forest and stuff. I'm trying to remember what it's called exactly. I'll get back to you on it, Ken. But I have it wish listed on Hulu, and it looks pretty interesting. I think you would even enjoy it. And maybe that could be something that we could.
Is it?
It might be a good one for us to have a round table and talk about.
It's not the one that I.
No, it's the one I wish listed, and I showed it to you.
Okay, because I know I think I had a wish listed one on Hulu that I was like,
yeah, I showed you the trailer. It was shown. The trailer showed you like this this location where this woman was going to like study this like forest or whatever, and there's supposed to be like this culture that she was studying as well, and the forest kind of becomes hostile and it starts blaming people.
Yeah.
And taking hold of them, and the people become part of the forest. It's actually really cool looking.
Yes. I know which one you're talking about, and guess what? I don't remember the name. So that's not going to help this conversation, but yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, on that note, if we have nothing else to say about Brain Freeze, I will say this. Give it a shot. It is very different, even though we've seen it before, but it does take that type of genre and turn it into a different way of looking at it.
Yes, I will agree with Paul on that.
Yeah, same here. Just if you have time, check it out.
What, Mara? Check it out? Yeah, you weren't a fan, right? Yeah, you didn't like those stupid protocols. Yeah, I hear ya. All right, well, I guess that's the end of Brain Freeze. So
let's switch gears and move on to Black Friday.
Yes.
Black Friday. This is a new film came out this year.
Correcto Mundo.
Yes.
It's actually early access right now through Amazon Prime for like $7. And the synopsis is basically a group of toy store employees must protect each other from a horde of parasite-infected shoppers. Probably the worst type of horde you definitely not want to run into, especially on Black Friday.
Black Friday shoppers are a nightmare in itself, but this film took it to a whole new level.
Oh, yeah. And Casey Tebow was the director, and Andy
Grasikovic
was the writer. It starred a few people that we know, like Bruce Campbell and
Devin Sawa.
Yeah. So it had some familiar faces and with some new faces, which is, in my own personal opinion, is always good because I'd like to find new actors that I could possibly start watching their movies as well. So anyways, Black Friday. Oh, boy.
So, where to begin?
Where to begin? Well, okay. I'm trying to think of the guy's name again because I think, can we all agree that there was a little bit maybe of too many people to try to remember? Just a little bit?
Yeah, the cast, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, and maybe I might get his name wrong, but I want to say his name was Ken, who...
Yeah, Ken Bates.
Yeah, he was the father, as I remember, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There was at one point where I could actually relate to Ken, where they opened up the doors finally to Black Friday, right? And he just watching them pour in while just standing there by the door, basically waiting for the chaos to happen. I won't lie, that used to be me. Even when I used to work in retail, and when I didn't work in retail, I would literally go out at 2:00 in the morning to watch these dumb type of people, just because it always amused me to watch people fight over something and do whatever it takes to get what they want. It always amused me.
Yeah, there were some funny instances that relate to real life. That was one of them.
And
he loved his job.
Can we say that I felt really bad about the germaphobe, Chris, working in retail and all of the germophobic situations that he was put in. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But it was also, a lot of them were also funny, may I add. A lot of them were funny too, but I felt bad for him at the same time. I'm like, this poor guy. I'm like, jeez, Kramers.
We're shutting down this lane, Chris. You need to go take care of throw up.
Throw up?
Yeah, but
isn't that
it seemed some of the things in the film, it would go from 0 to 60, and all of a sudden you in cruise control, 20 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour. Case being, they're fighting the infected inside the store. All of a sudden, hey everybody, let's just go to the warehouse area and let's have a conversation. Not once, not twice, but 4 or 5 times, just for the hell of it. And this is Paul's favorite word for tonight, fillers. I think that was the worst fillers. I was waiting for stuff to happen. I don't care if you... Oh my God, they're personal problems. I know what the writer was trying to do.
All sitting there eating sliced up turkey in a circle around a bucket of glow lights, just talking about how their life sucks.
How those two weren't dating, how you smell, how you're germaphobe. You were manager material, but now you're not.
It didn't work. It didn't work. What they could have done, and I see this whole Black Friday setting is in one store. So of course you have no other setting, so you cannot build up a character and explore their case. For example, Dawn of the Dead, the remake. We knew she was married. We knew she's went through trauma. Which is the nurse, the main character for that film. We knew everything within the span of 10 minutes of the opening credits, the opening of the film, without engaging in dialogue. Here we have dialogue and dialogue and more dialogue. Like, what's going on here? I thought I was watching Big Brother or something like that.
Well, you're wrong, Ken. But can we also agree that we need to also feel bad for the new guy that came in, who never worked for retail, and his first night there was his last night?
Oh, that was wrong. That was wrong.
Oh man, that poor guy.
So let me tell you right now, Em. What if a customer comes up to you and asks you where to go, or where this specific product is? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna take them to the aisle. No,
you're gonna point your finger, and then eventually they'll find it. And then poor M gets violated and doesn't even get the phone number of the woman who violates him.
Well,
his face just gets violated, and that's it.
And that's how he becomes infected. Which in this case, these type of creatures are very interesting.
Hey. Let's talk about the creatures. But before we delve into that, I have to say, what surprised me was Michael J. White. The actor Michael J. White. This is the first time I've seen him in a horror film. First time I've seen him in a comedy, actually. He was the guy with all the tools. He knew what to do.
I actually have something I want to add to it with you, Ken, too. But get your thoughts out first, and then I'll add.
It was cool to see him in this film. But as with some of the characters, they needed a little bit of spotlight. Not spotlight dialogue. Spotlight meaning kick-ass type of spotlight. And they only did that with two characters. The girl, what was her name?
Marnie.
Yes. But Archie, which is Michael J. White, come on. He should have come on.
He should have lasted longer than he did.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him to be one of the people that survived it. And then how he just got taken out like he did. I'm like, man.
What? Yeah, he's never been killed in a film. Like, what the hell?
I was like, why? I was like, I wanted this guy to like carry the torch and like get to the end of this, and he just gets taken out like that, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
What about the employee of the month lady though?
Anita? Oh, that bitch had it coming. She had that coming from Jump Street.
She was a filler. She was the filler.
Oh, obviously.
She was a very annoying filler. I couldn't wait for her to die.
But yeah, now let's jump into the creatures now. What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
It was like something out of White Noise 2 video game, that one creature. The one that has like the exposed gums and teeth and
oh shit,
bald, and you can't really tell if it has eyes or not.
It reminds me of Rawhead Rex.
Well, while I'm looking that up, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in real quick. But honestly, when I first saw the creature, and after seeing like the tongue and stuff, and whatever the hell else is going on with this thing, I kind of made a comment of. These creatures that are clearly from outer space, from like the color outer space, like from H.P. Lovecraft? Like, what was going on here? So yeah, I don't know. It was just weird because like the whole tongue aspect.
Yeah, they look like that thing right there.
And Okiko?
No, that guy right there up at the top, like behind the main image. They look like that.
I don't remember his name. Yeah, I definitely don't remember what creature that is anymore. Obviously.
But we can like send that image to like Ken afterwards. Go down, I just saw him. He's like right there with a tribute screen.
This one, right?
Yeah, that one.
They just call him Subject 23 then.
Yeah, Subject 23, but that's exactly what they kind of look like a little bit.
And yeah, to me, those creatures, some of them resembled Rawhead Rex. But hey, I gotta admit, you could see that these creatures were practical effects. The ending part was nice.
Might be the other one.
Decent special effects, but I'm glad that they resorted to practical effects for the creatures. Very well made, very good.
Actually, Ken,
in my opinion,
real quick, Ken, you're using a computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the chat, I'm sending you a link real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just was curious.
Or it might be the other one. I'll look it up.
Anyway, I sorry to interrupt, Ken, but I figured it's so I don't like just post the link and then you not being able to see it. But yeah, that's what Tessa is sort of thinking of.
It might be the other one I was thinking of too. I'm gonna pull it up and look.
There's like a chat option anyway, and you. Let me see if I could do that. But while I'm looking at that, and while I'm trying to look at that, to me, in my opinion, let's see your guys' opinion on this. The characters seem just discombobulated. Now, I don't mean design-wise. I mean, first we start off with this meteor. Then we go into them becoming zombies, which they don't actually eat people, so technically they're not zombies. Then they turn into harvesters. They're trying to build something. Then they turn into creatures. Then they turn into wait, it's so inconsistent. They were all over the place.
They almost acted like worker bees. If you get where I'm going with this, because they're trying to obviously build this safe zone, as I'm gonna just call it for the conversation here. But basically, they're trying to protect the original asteroid monster thing that clearly came from outer space. But anyway, meteor, yeah. That after the worker bee was done, it was
actually more like that guy.
It was basically just feeding off of them to make this meteor creature grow. Which isn't that almost like what the creature did in the color from outer space did? They was feeding off of the animals and anything that really came into contact with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It did have that. It just, I don't know. It just had so much going on with these creatures. They were zombies. They were this. They were that. They're this. It would have been more cohesive if they were just zombies eating like in Cuties. Hey, the kids got infected with, what was it, chicken nuggets? They turned into zombies. They started eating each other. Here they just, I'm going to do this and do that and build and let's transform into this giant thing. This is weird.
All right, Ken, I found the monster that they actually looked like in the movie from White Noise 2, and I just texted it to you, but they actually look more like this guy than the one that Paul sent you, because I got a better look at him. But I was just kind of like, wow. I was like, maybe they got their monster reference from this guy.
Let's see. Yeah, they could tell there's a lot of references. It's loading. But I do 1000% enjoy that they did practical effects. That's the way to go. Hey.
Damn right. Damn right.
Digital is nice for touch-ups, but you gotta go. And the designs of the creatures were good, very nice, well put together. The minus for me was that giant monster at the end. Is like, okay, guys, come on, huh?
The giant gelatinous mob that became like,
it was
like a meld of a bunch of faces and stuff. I was like, what the hell?
Well, that's all the shoppers, though. That's all the shoppers, though, and all the worker bees that I was saying.
Yeah, some worker bees. Jesus.
Kind of like look at that fucking lady that sat down on the chair there with the thing underneath it. Like, look what she became.
Oh my God, number one grandma lady. Oh
yeah, the number one.
I saw her and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, before even the main character realized it was her, I was like, that's the old lady, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's like, in the beginning, before she becomes that thing, she's like, I'm gonna tear you to pieces and blah blah blah, and Ken's like, I believe you.
Can we at least, since we're on the topic of the old ladies for a minute, but what about that other old lady, the one that was like the one
that became your favorite, and then she got taken out? The one that became my
favorite because of the one line that she said. Yep.
So you're not dating, you're just consensual fuck buddies. Paul and I were trying to eat dinner while we were watching watching Black Friday, and when it got to that part, I shit you not, Paul looked like he was about to choke on the piece of when she said that.
That's because I was also dealing with a hot pizza, and then when she said that, on top of doing like the whole jerking off motion thing, it was just like I can't do this right now. I just can't do this right now. Like I want to laugh at that part, but I also have hot pizza in my mouth.
He's like, it just became my favorite, and then
she just became my favorite, and then she gets taken out by the goddamn
cop car. Like,
that was
comedic element.
Yeah,
She was hilarious. Should have kept her longer.
Yeah, exactly. There was some characters that met their demise too soon, and
some that should have met it sooner.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Brian, for example?
Oh,
jeez, oh my gosh.
It didn't make sense. Some of it didn't make sense. Some of the characters that should have lasted towards the end didn't. And some of the death scenes were like at the end. Oh, Bruce Campbell's character. What type of death scene is that? Like, dude, why? That was wasn't necessary.
We're talking about the man that played Ash from Evil Dead, and he met his demise like that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to be a sacrificial lamb and just throw myself.
And I will quote what Bruce said anyway. Because somebody brought up the question about if he would be able to play Ash again. And he said, I am not physically fit to play Ash anymore. Well, in this case, this kind of shows it. If you want to be a sacrificial lamb.
Exactly. It just didn't fit the actor. Because we have never seen Bruce Campbell die in a film before. Ever. Has he ever died?
He's always the survivor, the hero, or, you know.
Right. Just like Michael J. White. Are you going out like that? Really? I thought he was gonna duke it out with the creature there. Like, all right, you're gonna have a nice fight scene. Nope. No.
Yeah, and I think that was the number one grandma that took him out.
It was the number one grandma that took him out. And again.
Oh, it was, yes. Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah, that's the first time we saw the creature thing, and Paul and I are both looking at each other, and we're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and then she kind of shows her like a little bit more of this creature, and I'm like, that's that lady, isn't it? And then it's just like, you know, that the guy couldn't even figure it out. Ken couldn't even figure it out. Whatever her name, Ken couldn't figure it out. And then he finally figured out it was that lady because they kind of give you that flashback thing of who this creature's supposed to be. It's like, I know who it is. Obviously, I caught on. Come on now, movies. Don't think I'm fucking stupid right now.
Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly. And if there would have been some consistency with the creatures, like we saw her, we didn't see her get infected, did we?
No. We saw her sit on the chair where the thing was below her, Santa's throne, where the thing was below the seat.
Right. But and then from there, that was it. Right. You see, there was no consistency, so they had to show her necklace. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, come on, give me some backstory here.
Or you were waiting to see was it Archie, Ken? You were waiting to see Archie come back again as like a creature or something, and you never even see him again after he gets his frickin'
guts ripped out. I think that's the only reason why he never came back, because he actually got mutilated with the fact that he probably couldn't. I don't know.
Well, Anita came back for like 0.25 seconds after she got turned.
Yeah, and all she got was the tongue thing through the neck, basically through the mouth, through the neck, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah.
And she still came back, and I'm surprised she even came back. But I guess a hole in the throat doesn't stop you either from that aspect. So what are we dealing with then? Are we dealing with something that was sort of like Splinter?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no cohesiveness to what these creatures are. We get that there was a news report saying that there was a meteor shower. That's about it. Okay, so they came from space. What else? What's going on here? That was the first
It leaves too many questions. Too many gaps.
We just want to start choking people.
Hey, what was the ulterior motive? Why did they want to consolidate all these bodies into one? What is it? There has to be a reason.
And how you saw so many at the end too, like a planet invasion type of deal.
Yeah, clearly they wanted to take over us with all the stupid angry shoppers. You know, I mean, what else? I mean, clearly the Black Friday faces that we sort of saw, which I find funny too, because it looked like the monster was starting to have like a beak. And I started to think, like, well, they did eat turkey, so did the turkey play into aspect?
Right. I didn't get that either. And that turkey looks like that turkey creature from that horror movie.
Thanksgiving?
Oh, that's the one. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Gobble.
I will at least say Thanksgiving monster looked a lot better than this Black Friday monster at the end.
This Black Friday monster, I didn't know what to
that was just, it was just terrible.
But I did like what the germophobic guy was trying to do with the forklift. I thought that was kind of funny.
Right. It's just those last 15 minutes of the film just went south. It just went south. It's like, okay, come on, guys. What are you guys doing? Come on, wake up. You stuck inside a truck. Hey, let's go in the truck. Let's go out the truck. Let's go to the back. Let's go here.
Well, we're just gonna leave your freaking punk ass, Brian, because why did you do that? I thought I did us all a favor. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was just thrown in there. It's just the last 15 minutes of the film. It just went.
It was just the filler. It was literally the filler. It was like, how do we end this?
Right.
Oh, well, we gotta get this monster to like definitely break out of We Love Toys, and then we gotta finish it off. Wait, so how are we gonna finish it off? I know. We'll take the germophobic guy, put him into this nasty forklift, get him close to the creature, and then we're gonna use the forklift like a fucking arrow.
Yeah, slingshot it.
Slingshot it.
Using the creature against itself.
Hit the monster in one of the many eyeballs, and then that's it. That was game over for the monster.
Disappears into the building and into the flames of the building, and then the building just collapses, and that's it.
Right. But anyone who's seen this, who would see this movie or is planning to see this movie, is just the act 3, just is so. It's I don't know what they were thinking, but when you watch the film, wouldn't the creature have died if he's being barbecued while standing there? Like, wait a second. Let's just let him burn to death right there. Why are we bothering? Let's just get in the car, drive away. He's gonna burn. And then the movie, roll the credits. That's it.
Ken,
you're making too much sense.
Too much common sense there, Ken. Stop it.
Amara, you can't have anything in this. You did not see it. You were at grandma's, so you can't say anything. I hear you, but no. You don't even know what the hell we're talking about in this point in time. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there was anything else too, like that really made me go like, oh wow. But after the cheesy conversations we had, how horrible we saw Bruce kind of portraying this one to be this sacrificial lamb who apparently was a loner and that's why he became this manager, so that he could basically boss other people around, because they had to do what he said in that aspect. And then at the end, he was almost trying to be like that, quote, fatherly figure to all the employees by basically saying, like, I'm done. Black Friday is over. And he jumped into the stupid shoppers. It's like,
the hatch, yeah.
Well, did you do that because none of the employees got their fucking bonus? On top of the fact that, like, you're basically treating them like shit, because it sounded like there was going to be layoffs. So did you start to feel bad, and that's why you sacrificed yourself? Like, what was that the idea? Because everybody was definitely turning on him on the middle of the
when they found out that they weren't going to get their bonuses.
Yeah, because that's when it definitely went all to hell too.
Right, but, and him dying is like, okay. And even though you can see the expression on the characters, they're like, oh, okay, let's keep going. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, he died, oh. There was nothing. It was like, okay, let's keep going. All right, let's jump off the roof, let's keep going. There was no oomph, no impact.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian was like temporarily devastated for like 5 seconds. Like, okay, moving on.
We ate turkey together.
When pretzels.
And pretzels. Yeah. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I think it was hilarious how Brian got flicked at the end by the creature.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
It's a management thing. You wouldn't understand. I feel you, man. You're scared. I'm scared. And this and that.
Yeah, that didn't make sense at all. It didn't make sense.
It's like, you really think you're going to reason with something that's not of this earth? Yeah, good luck, buddy.
And your hand is coming down to flick your ass. Like I'm actually surprised he got flicked. I'm surprised like it didn't just like squash him like a pancake.
Or like pick him up and frickin'
eat him.
You see, I think there wasn't enough budget for the digital effects to do that. So just flick them. That's what we could afford, because we spent all our money on Michael J. White, Bruce Campbell, and the practical effects. Just flick them. That's it.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So this place, the building that they used for We Love Toys was actually a former Babies R Us store.
Huh. I could see that, yeah.
And they ended up showing a little bit of Curse of Chucky on the TV, especially when that guy was flipping through and completely missed the fact of the meteor monster news report of trying to tell people, like, if you see this thing, do not go near it.
Right. And I don't know if you guys caught, there was another Easter egg when they were all inside the warehouse area.
And they never died.
Huh?
They used a quote. Jonathan used a quote. Bruce Campbell's character. They never die.
Oh, didn't catch that one. I was referencing the boxes that says "Cuties" to reference the film Cuties. Cooties.
I didn't catch on to that one.
I didn't either, but I caught on to the others.
Very interesting.
So for me, the high points of this film, definitely the practical effects. And I would say Michael J. White, seeing him in the film, that was cool. And I'll just leave it like that.
I will say the same thing that Ken said. I love the fact that they use practical effects. If anything, the ending was definitely CGI with that Black Friday monster of all the shoppers and worker bees, like I was trying to explain. And I think the germaphobe should have been a little bit more funnier in some aspect. Brian should have died at an early stage, and Michael White definitely should have stayed in the film longer.
Michael White and Brian characters should have switched places, and Brian should have gotten taken out by number one grandma in the aisle at the beginning. And
I think that would have been funny.
And they should have kept Michael White for the
because then Brian could have been said something stupid like, "I want my grandma cookies" or something like stupid.
Right. My grandma, and then grandma takes him out.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I will agree with you guys. The practical use of practical effects was good. The ending was lacking, severely lacking. Could have been done a lot better. like I just said, Brian's character and Archie's character should have switched places. Brian should have been taken out first thing, and Archie should have been one of the people that carried on to the end, if not survived the whole thing. And they probably should have used something else other than a forklift to kill it.
Right. It's just, This just like I said, just ignore the fact that he's standing in fire. Let's just ignore that.
Right. yeah, right.
You want to know what's sad is I can't even find the budget for how much this film costed either. All I find right now is the gross worldwide of what they've earned, but I can't even find how much the budget was right now, which is kind of sad. So
it should be pretty high because you have two good, well-named actors. You have a lot of practical effects, digital effects at the end. I'm gonna take a wild guess, say $500K, maybe.
Well, it is Hollywood, so I'm gonna maybe say somewhere around $2 million.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, that sounds good.
And I'm gonna just say it like that because of the practical effects, especially with some of like the blisters on the creature and like the teeth, like the new guy became and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like how many times did we even see that poor bastard? Like 3 times or something. Like, and we kind of saw him like form or deform like 3 different times. It felt like.
Oh, Emmett, yeah.
Yeah, Emmett. Like we saw him when he first kind of was turning. And then we saw him again. And then we saw him one last time. And his face just didn't even look like a human anymore. It almost looked like some weird creature. So,
right.
Yeah. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. That's what really stands out. Those creatures are the effects of it. And even there was one close-up where the teeth was coming out and the head was splitting in half.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was good. That was really good. Impressive. And then it goes down here from there. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world for this film. Some people will like it for what it is, and some people won't.
I like it for the aspect of the fact that they actually got the whole Black Friday ordeal right down to the T. You know, like everything that you saw in that movie before everybody became infected was very spot on what you would see back in the day. I don't know about now of Black Friday shopping, but yeah.
Well, if you live in California right now, Black Friday is every day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Anyway, I guess if I had to say one final thing, probably everybody will be agreed with me is that this would be good to maybe watch once, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some cool aspects the practical effect, I would say, definitely win the cake overall. But other than that, like Ken was saying, like the whole back room stuff was just kind of stupid to have in the film, and it was definitely the filler of how to maybe save on the budget a little bit.
Right. It was just totally unnecessary. But like I said, they only stuck in one place. There's only so much you could do in one place to get to know the characters. So let's just sit them down around a campfire. What? I counted 4. Maybe there's more. But anyway, that's one too many.
I agree. So I think that's it for Black Friday. And yeah, that was it. That was it for the roundtable of our 2 films that we wanted to talk about. Amara was sweeping through basically the first one, Brain Freeze, and then she decided to wake up for her Black Friday and wanted to jabber on about whatever during Black Friday. But she wanted her voice to be heard, and like we said at the beginning, everybody here can have their voice be heard. Even that one.
Everybody gets a chance on the mic.
Everybody gets
even our 17-month-old daughter.
That's right. So I guess to really end this, if you guys had to go back and watch these films again, which one would you guys recommend the most? Brain Freeze or Black Friday?
That's it.
I would probably say that Brain Freeze was done better than Black Friday. Brain Freeze only really had one filler. Black Friday had several fillers and had some letdowns with character builds that died off too quickly, and then some characters were kept on too long that should have died in the beginning. So I guess I would probably go, if I had to recommend somebody to watch one of these films, I would probably recommend Brain Freeze.
Yeah, I agree. Brain Freeze, definitely for what it has to offer. And Black Friday, it headed in the right direction, and then okay.
And then it kind of nosedived towards the end.
It nosedived definitely at the end.
Yeah, middle, like at the quote unquote climax, and then completely nosedived at the end.
And it wasn't even a good climax.
No, it's bad.
That's what she said.
You know it's bad when you can't you can't do a good climax. That's bad.
At least we caught on to that joke. Good.
Yeah. Yep. If you can't build up a good climax, that's bad.
And both films leave it open for a sequel. But I think Brain Freeze has more potential for a sequel as opposed to Black Friday.
Does not need a sequel.
No, Black Friday does not need a sequel.
Like, what more can you add to that?
There's not really much more you can add to that.
Unless we saw a different story perspective, but that's it.
Yeah, but Brain Freeze has more potential for a sequel because of how they ended it.
Right. Yes. Paul, what are your choices? Or choice, rather.
This is what I'm going to say. If you're looking for good practical effects, then watch Black Friday. If you're looking for a very interesting story with some special effects, I would say Brain Freeze.
That's very, very neutral. Very good. Paul Switzerland way out.
Yeah, I mean, they both have some equal parts, and they both have some good stuff, and then they both have some bad stuff. Which in this case, I definitely wish Brain Freeze had a little bit more practical effects, but I'm assuming because of their budget, they couldn't maybe afford the practical effects, so that's why they just went with the special effects. Yeah, the
yeah.
digital.
I do like what they did with the dog, though.
Oh yeah, the dog
Right.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog was great.
The dog was well done.
That's probably the only thing that had to have been practical.
And
Maybe.
the girl, of course, the daughter, her makeup was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But even her eyes though were definitely practical. I mean, CG basically, because you can't put in contact lenses into a baby. But yeah, everybody should know that. Anyway, I would say that definitely watch Black Friday once. Brain freeze. You could
revisit.
Unless you're just a big comedy guy, and then maybe you might want to watch Black Friday multiple times. But other than that,
it's a one and go.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was cool that we finally sort of got like a Black Friday film, and that's sort of one reason why I wanted to see this film, just because we saw Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
Right. A good themed movie, yeah. Cool.
So to end this discussion, thank you, that let us know what movie you like better. Do you like Brain Freeze or Black Friday or both? And if so, why? Let us know in the discussion below. And if you would like to let us know too, you can also click the link down below in the description of the episode and leave us a nice voice message of your opinion. And until next time, I was Paul Olski.
And I'm Tessa Baker.
And we were
Artuz.
That's right. That's right. We had our buddy Ken Artuz. I was like, oh boy, I hope Ken knows when to come in. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe we'll figure out something else and come back to you with another episode. Until then, hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, let us know what your favorites were. And until next time, bye-bye. See you later. Adios. And stay scary.